AFC, AFC, Southside. AFC, 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 Southside. AFC, AFC. Are you ready for the fight? Nighty night, lights out, no Tyson. About to be the clash of the Titans. Strike like a lightning bolt. You feel the ground pounding, that might be the coast. Quick like a joke, like to hit when provoked. Don't you doubt that. That's a Jaguar to a house cat. That's an outcast to a whole squadron. If you talking Houston, then we've got a problem. You'll probably get the horns if you mess with the cattle. Sit back in your saddle and get ready for the fan battle.
Hello, hello. And Ray is on with us finally. We didn't think you were going to make it, which we didn't blame you, by the way.
Y'all have little doubt, very little doubt. You know what I'm saying?
We thought you were drunk on mayonnaise, so, you know.
Mayonnaise and Truly.
All right, someone's got a TV on. Who's got a TV on?
All their mayonnaise in Nashville's frozen. They got to thaw it out.
Nice one. Nice one.
Mayonnaise icebergs floating in the lakes and rivers.
Hey, you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have a television on, though? Sorry, y'all. We normally do this in pre-production, but Ray decided to join us during the introduction. He was, look, he's like, let me check my computer. I think I was playing replays.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, can you hear us?
Do you see that tear in his eye? Look at that.
Testing 1, 2,
Can
3.
you guys hear me?
Yes.
No, we don't.
Nope, can't hear you. Can't hear you at all.
Yes, I cannot hear you.
It's garbage can, not garbage cannot.
Yo, testing.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We can hear you.
thank you.
You can't hear us.
Earth to Ray. Ray,
You have
blink
to
twice
turn
so
the-
you can hear us.
You have to turn the volume up on your headphones.
Turn my headphones up.
Hello.
Well,
You guys
sorry.
hear- Okay.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. All right, let's get this started. What milk carton is RJ posted on? He's been missing a couple days. That's facts, Nika. That is facts. Miss Nika from the First and Teal podcast. He has been missing, and we thought we were going to be down a Titans commentator tonight, but Ray Cherry, we got the A squad tonight. The A squad, the
Aw.
A team. You're welcome. So, listen, before we get started on the audio portion and the talking crap portion, I do want to mention I have a client who, there are a couple clients and friends of ours who they lost everything in a fire the day after Christmas, and including their 4-year-old little boy who died, and they have to pay for burial expenses and rebuild their whole life the best they can all over again. It's a super, super sad situation. It was like a electrical fire from the Christmas tree. And so if you have any amount of money, anything, I know it's right after Christmas, but I have a GoFundMe posted on my personal Facebook page, Samantha Burnett, and then on my Twitter, Sammy Football. So if you guys could check that out and donate, or if not, just send them some positive thoughts and prayers. And yeah, it's a super sad situation. So,
Or you can reach out to one of us and we can make sure you get.
yeah, we
hooked
can
up
send
that
you
way.
the link. Yeah. It is a GoFundMe. It is, but yeah, reach out to one of us and we'll send you the link. So anyways, yeah. Hi guys. How was your Christmas?
Mine was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
Splendiferous.
What was your Edilla actually posted this, and I like this better than saying what's your favorite gift you got. What was your favorite gift you gave?
The Jaguars first place in division. That's my favorite
Yes,
gift.
thank you, Texans.
I see how this is going.
I got my parents and granddad some Willie Nelson tickets, and I think I was more excited than they were, but it's okay.
Oh, they are going to be floating.
Hell yeah.
Me and RJ gave it to the charity because, both of our teams couldn't
I did.
double digits. So
I did see that. So I appreciate you guys giving to my birthday
Hey.
charity.
And I was talking shit on RJ. I totally forgot. Me and Leonard made a bet too. He has to dye his beard red, white, and blue.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Mm.
Oh, that's why he's busy tonight. Where is he at?
No,
A Thunder
he's at
game.
an
I don't
NBA
know what's
game.
worse, be a Titans fan or a Thunder game fan. But he's at the Oklahoma City game.
Who's watching a suspense thriller right now? Good God. Is that you, Chris Jackson?
Partially.
What are you watching? Yellowstone or something?
No, we're we're rewatching Teen Wolf leading up to the movie coming out in January.
Oh.
You would watch Teen Wolf.
That is the
First
most
off,
Colts
you-
fan. That is the most Colts
First
fan
off,
thing I've
you
ever heard
watched
you
the
say.
Texans, so it can't get any worse than that.
It can. Teen Wolf.
That's funny. All right, let's get this shit talking started. Y'all ready?
Let's go.
Go.
Hello, everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the AFC South Fan Battle Podcast. My name is Samantha Wernett. We hope you all had very happy holidays, and thank you for joining us for a Week 16 episode. Joining us tonight are commentators for this evening. Representing the Colts, we have Chris Jackson.
Hello, top 5 pick. Here we come.
How's it feel?
Fantastic.
Good. Representing the Titans, we have Ray Cherry.
Beat the champ. You got to beat the champ. That's all I got to say.
Who that is?
Yeah, we'll see. Representing the Texans, we have Matt Briggs.
Thank you, Justin James Watt.
And representing the Jaguars, we have Josh Allen.
Hey, what's up, bunch of losers? And then, I'm the only commentator whose team's on a 3-game win streak. So raise your hand if your team's on a win streak. Yep, there we go. One doesn't count. That's not a streak.
Hey, that's a win streak. I'm on a 1-game win streak. Let me have this,
sorry.
Josh. All right.
Hey, as long as it doesn't turn into a 2-game win streak, you can raise your hand all you want.
No, let it continue.
Sir.
Let him
Mr.
win
Jackson,
out.
Sir.
Let him win out.
Sir.
Well, to be fair,
ahead.
the Jaguars could lose to the Texans next week, and none of it really matters because it all comes down to that Week 18 game. So all I can say,
We'll get him that.
Y'all can still make the playoffs if y'all lose to the
disagree.
Titans.
yeah, all I can say is, who would have thought Week 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or even at the beginning of the season, that this is the way the standings would be. I mean, if we were to reflect, we're at the last week of the year, coming towards the end of football season of 2022, 2023, we were all anticipating the Texans to do whatever. We were like, who knows? They're just so mysterious. They could blow everyone out, and they're 2 and what? 15, 14? 12? I can't do math. I just know you have 2 wins. And then the Colts literally firing their head coach, getting a commentator to come in the middle of the season, and then the Titans firing their GM in the middle of the season, being where they're at now, and the Jaguars being in first place in the AFC South. Who would have saw that coming? Not I.
I actually called that on one of the first podcasts we had. I said it usually comes down to the last game of the season. Any team we play at the end of the season, Titans usually somehow mess it up, and that's usually for the division.
Well, that wasn't true in 1999, and so as an unbiased host, I shouldn't say anything, but as a biased host, so we know that I am, because Chris Jackson's rolling his eyes, and I don't even care. I will say that let's not have a 99 repeat. So
Yeah, but in
Every
99,
time you say you're an
first time,
unbiased,
too.
I know exactly how biased it's going to get.
what were you gonna say, Josh Allen?
In 99, the Titans beat us the first time too. So we already beat them once. So we're doing a reverse 99 here. We're doing a reverse 99 where we're going to sweep the Titans. So
Got it. Like it. All right. Well, before we jump into our teams, this is going to be a pretty quick episode. There's not a lot to talk about. This is pretty cut and dry getting into the end of the season. NFL news. I know it's not AFC South related, but it was at one point. The good old J.J. Watt.
John Jacob Jingleheimer Watt.
Yes, has finally announced his retirement. Matt, I know I was shocked that he didn't sign as a Texan for a day.
Well, he's still under contract as a Cardinal, so probably end of the season.
Still going to play the last 2 away games, right?
But how do you feel? How are you feeling?
I mean, the dude that almost had a heart attack, guys. Yeah, he almost had a heart attack. He has a brand new kid.
Did he almost have a heart attack, or I think he had a heart attack?
The man's heart literally stopped. They had to shock him back into life.
It went to AFib. They're not calling it a heart attack, but yeah, it was a heart attack.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I get it. I mean, the dude is one of the greatest defensive players to go down in history. So
is he though?
It sucks. He is
the greatest in history.
One of the greatest.
Sorry.
Name me another defensive end that had 2 20+ sacks seasons. Oh wait.
I mean, if we're just basing everything off of 2 seasons, we could make a lot of arguments.
And he also led the NFL in pass deflections.
It's because he had his arm stretched out. He was on arm enhancing drugs, and he was stretching.
Okay, Barris.
He's using illegal equipment to
that Titans fan, Barris Turner, or whatever his name is. Yeah, he said the same thing. And he wants to bring up Taylor Lewan like he's not a druggie. So
hey, why you bring the Titans into this? I was quiet.
All you Titan fans are saying that J.J. Watt was on steroids when your best player got busted how many times for steroids?
Well, let's be real. J.J. Watt was on some performance-enhancing stuff. Come on now.
Where's your facts?
You don't have a heart attack at the tender age as him if you ain't been stressing that bad boy out.
Hey, have you ever seen his diet plan? The dude has to eat 8 T-bone steaks for breakfast. That will put you in a heart attack pretty early age.
Just eats creatine right out of the jar.
Yeah.
I mean, JJ Watt was corn-fed. Now that Brian Cushing character, he was juicing daily.
Yes, I agree with that 110%.
I think the majority of players in the NFL are probably juicing in some way. Not to the extent that people used to do that sort of stuff in the 80s, but they're all pushing they're all toeing the line of what's acceptable and not acceptable. They're trying to get as close as they can to the edge and not go over it.
True test to be after about 2 years after he's retired. If he looks like Andrew, like a toothpick, we know he was juicing up. We'll know.
True.
Have we seen his wife? He's gonna have to keep his body because she can find some men elsewhere. All right, he's gonna have to keep up his before.
He's gonna keep juicing to keep his wife.
How much did JJ Watt
I don't
get
see her
paid?
leaving him for a TD bank manager, but I mean, Jesus, it's like he's JJ Watt. It's just like she might be.
But he makes better Whoppers, and he has an 8-pack.
I'm so confused. I don't know what we're talking about right now anymore.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. It's the end of the season, Josh Allen. This is what happens.
At the end of my season.
That's true. All right, let's dive into it. Come on. Who we got? Do we have any more NFL news? Probably not. Lots of injuries. End of the year.
The Broncos head coach got fired.
Hackett got fired.
Shocking.
Nathaniel Hackett, who sucked when he was here in Jacksonville as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Shockingly sucked at play calling as a head coach and got fired.
Yeah, who would have saw that coming? I mean, also
Every
Russell
Jaguars.
Wilson.
Yeah, but
Russell Wilson, the end.
But let's call it what it is. He went to Denver because that was just their push for them to go and get Aaron Rodgers. If for some reason he was going to end up not being back on the Packers, that was like the dream scenario, and it fell through, and then they had to go after Russell Wilson. There's no other way to explain that one.
Russell Wilson.
I told my dad, we were sitting here on Christmas, and they had this interview thing set up, and like Joe Montana and Russell Wilson were like sitting together watching their highlight tapes, and I'm like, in what world is Russell Wilson like an elite quarterback to this standard? Like,
Well, he was elite. He was elite.
You can argue for about maybe 4 or 5 seasons. He was
great.
Top
He was great.
quarterback. Yeah.
Can we
There was a
stop?
stretch there where almost any team in the league outside of somebody that had a Manning or a Brady would have taken Russell Wilson over their quarterback. I mean, there was a good stretch where that was true.
And can we stop throwing the word elite around so willy nilly?
I tell you, who's
It
elite.
just seems like it's used for any quarterback that does like great things, but it's just like elite is like year
like
in,
Trevor Lawrence, yeah.
year out.
Hey,
You should reserve
Ma'am.
it for players
Tell your
like Andrew
fan-
Wyndham.
Man,
Hey,
I
Chris,
was
tell your fan
literally-
base that. Tell your fan base that beginning of the season. That's all we heard about Matt Ryan. He was elite.
weren't y'all comparing Tannehill
Super Bowl,
to
Super Bowl
Mahomes at one
elite.
point? Weren't y'all comparing Tannehill
That's
to Mahomes?
facts.
Super Bowl. He's elite. Hey, it makes me sick. Makes me
You
throw
don't
up.
understand.
Matty Ice.
You don't understand. This isn't like the
all
last
that.
15 quarterbacks we had. He's actually good. He's been to the Super Bowl.
I'm not sure exactly who you might have been. Oh, who was that? And Estrella or Eaton, whoever the fuck it is. Whichever one is
Michael
one that's
Tessmer.
out of touch.
Yeah, Michael.
Josh
Thomas.
Senior.
Michael Tessmer trolls a lot. Michael Tessmer trolls.
Haris
a lot.
Nucala.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
I
Plug and play.
know that.
Just plug
I know
and
that.
play. You just needed
Nah.
a different environment. You know.
So Harish
Nah,
does
never
say all
know.
the time that the Colts have the best roster in terms of talent. I don't know. I watched them play the Chargers, and I think you can't really make that argument. Like they're
Oh, it's
not
horrible.
good.
God bless.
Man,
I think
can you imagine? Can you imagine what would have happened for the Jaguars if Nick Foles wouldn't have broke his clavicle?
Oh my god! Did you see the meme where someone said it was basically Nick Foles being in the game is like what would happen if you just picked a fan out of the stands? They're like, all right, here you go, buddy. You're
Yeah.
your quarterback.
But that's what it was. That was a Frank Reich thing. Like he
well,
couldn't
you know
wait.
what?
He couldn't wait to get him out there. So
Since we're talking about it,
Let's go.
go ahead.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
do it.
oh yeah, no, it was awful. Like
Go
it
ahead.
was, I don't know what like so we've had this progressive thing where fans have said, oh yeah, let's try him out. Like let him get a shot. It's just like we've seen what we need to see from Nick Foles. It's like we've seen what we need to see from every single fucking body. Like even when they hired Jeff Saturday, they were like, oh yeah, no, you need to give Gus Bradley another shot. It's just like another shot. We saw what he did in Jacksonville. No, thank you. Like why are we saying that we need to give these people? They said we need to give John Fox a shot. He went to a Super Bowl. He went to a Super Bowl in 2004.
Florida
And I think it's
is
just
where
like, he
everybody
could-
goes to retire, and that's what the Colts are in the league. It's where everybody goes, like one last chance.
So it's
The
our-
Well, yeah.
nursing home. It's the nursing home.
Now, Ballard's shot now, like Ballard's job now is, I'm going to say probably, and even though Irsay said, hey, you know, Chris Ballard is going to be our GM, nobody believes that shit. Nobody believes it. Because, I mean, there's no way that you have this product out on the field. Like, you have an extremely talented defense. You have a decent offense that has weapons, except for the fact that you don't have a quarterback and you're missing competent linemen in 2 spots. Other than that, it should be a cinch. But no, it's Chris Ballard's truly.
So who do you start for the last 2 games of the year, though? Like who would you trot out there as your quarterback?
I mean, it doesn't matter because the thing is now it's just like you're not playing for anything. I mean, you're out of playoff contention. At this point, it's just like, are you just trying to play spoiler? Because at that point, it's just like you could say we're trying to stay competitive and all chips in or whatever type of motivational phrase Irsay decided to Google that day. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like this product. It's a shit product. So I mean, you could put in Ellinger, you could put in
coaching get permanent. He's gonna go out bang. You know
who coach? No, absolutely not. No. So Saturday, they're going to say that he's an outstanding candidate. But I mean, you've seen what you need to see from him. Like there's, I don't think there's anything else that can say, oh yeah, he definitely needs another shot. And that's another thing I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear that Jeff Saturday needs to have another shot with a different offensive coordinator. No, clean house. Go get Ben Johnson. Go get your rookie quarterback. and I mean call it a day. That's what it is.
I will say it's pretty cool to see how Jeff Saturday has grown as a coach, though, because I think he learned that you can't lose a lead if you don't have one at any point in the game. So after that embarrassing lead that you guys lost,
sir, this is
he's
there's
mature,
no growth.
he's grown, he's developed.
Don't do that. Don't do that. All right. We're not going to do this because you know what? Just because your Jags are winning now, when after week 3 or week 4, I was literally on the Jaguar and you were saying, you know what? Trevor Lawrence, he's looking like a bust.
Oh,
He was. There were 3 games this season where I absolutely said that. I said if he continues to play that way, you could say he's a bust, but he didn't continue to play that way. So I don't know what to tell you.
And sir, stay away from Ben Johnson. You hear me? He's come to the Texans.
No.
Point closed.
I've been saying this literally all season. I was just like,
I've been saying since week 1. Get out of here.
Nah, the next Colts QB will be Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, okay.
They're gonna go
He'll
slightly
end up on
younger
Texans before he ends up here.
I do want to apologize.
The Texans are going to do what they did with Braxton Miller, and they're going to turn Bryce Young into a wide receiver. And I mean, that's just going to be it. And then they're going to get Baker Mayfield.
I do want to apologize because we have comments that are coming through on some of the platforms, and I don't know if there's an issue with Facebook or whatever right now. So if you are watching and your comment's not being shown, try to go on the AFC South Fan Battle podcast page or on Twitter.
Or on YouTube.
Or on YouTube.
Subscribe.
Because for some reason, it is not popping up on the Facebook.
Zach Wilson will be available.
Zach Wilson, baby. Zach Wilson, baby. Let's do it.
Why are we going to go and get Zach Wilson?
You did say no one over 25.
Hide your moms, hide your grandmas. Zach Wilson's coming to Indy.
Yeah. No. Zach Wilson can stay away. The Titans will get him or Mac Jones for a 6th-round pick, and they will say that he's their savior because he's not going anywhere near here.
We're not the Colts.
No, y'all gonna listen. Y'all are gonna trade a 6th-round pick for him. I guarantee.
I heard Titans fans talking about Malik Willis being so good after he scored like a single touchdown, and then people were talking about, he's the next couple.
I will say he's never gotten a chance to play, and he's a rookie, and even I was like, watching him like scramble outside the pocket and stuff and breaking tackles. I was like, he wasn't playing too bad.
How many points?
He's just raw. He's just
how many
so
points
raw.
did he score?
Yeah.
7.
He's not ready. He's not ready for prime time yet.
Exactly 7.
No, of course not. But I'm just saying that he's coachable.
He shows little glimpses here and there where he's like, okay, I can see it, but it's he's
Hey Jay, you're right. You're not the Colts because when y'all get a quarterback, you'll actually have success with them, unlike the Colts.
Yeah,
they don't see no success with the quarterbacks they get.
True.
I'm sorry. Can you remind me of the man whose favorite fruit is a nectarine that you have at quarterback right now?
No, but I can remember the last time we won a playoff game was.
Matter of fact, hold on. Wait. Are you?
Wait a minute. Didn't you tie with that nectarine? Didn't you tie with that graph?
Matt Ryan did.
So did the Colts.
And wait. You talking about the last time we won a playoff game? Wasn't the last time we won a playoff game against y'all?
Yeah, it was, but we won one after that.
What century was that in?
Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember when this was the Jaguars and the Texans doing it, but yet the Texans are still here doing it, but now with the Colts? Memories. Well, anything else to add, Chris Jackson, before we move on?
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to the draft. Like I said, I don't see them doing anything. Like I said, just get in the game. Hopefully everybody gets their bonuses and they're able to get their stat based money, whatever. But I mean, in the meantime, it's time for Ballard to go. Jeff Saturday can go, love him, but he needs to go back to being a commentator / consultant. And yeah,
I know that it doesn't matter, but Giants week 17. Who are you?
Giants week 7. Giants.
Good
Giants by 2. They'll find a way to make it interesting.
All right. Well, let's head on over to number 1 in the AFC South. Man, I do want to say before you start, did everybody see the fan from the Jets? First of all, I was shocked that they benched Zach Wilson in the middle of that game. Like, those fans were just booing him. But did anybody see the fan that wrote his mom and what her response was?
No.
Did you give him an address? Tell him to come over later?
No, some fan wrote her and said, like, sorry about your son. People can be really mean during these games, but just so you know, like, he did suck. Like, that's not verbatim what he said, but, like, essentially. And she's like, your fans are awful and no one can ever succeed here because they're toxic or something like that. It's like, well, maybe your son's just not an NFL quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, that's stupid. But also, it's stupid to write. It's stupid to send
his mom pulled a
unique
and blamed the fans.
Yeah, but his mom's not a player. Why are idiot
Well,
Jets fans?
his mom, because his mom. Well, because his mom does it to herself, to be fair. His mom. Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, Josh. Take it over.
I mean, it is. Well, before it is the Jets fans because they sit in the Jets fault. They sit in the one against the Rams. They could have Trevor Lawrence, and the Jaguars could have Zach Wilson.
Yeah, but that's not the fans' fault. I mean, the Jets are a poorly run organization, right? Right. If booing a quarterback that is terrible makes you toxic, then I guess every fan base in the league is toxic. There is not a fan base in the world that would have sat through that Zach Wilson performance when the team was on a 4-game win streak after it looked like they were about to head to the 4-game losing streak when it looked like they were about to head to the playoffs and not boo the bejesus out of Zach Wilson. Every fan base in the league would have done it. And some idiot Jaguar fan was posting in one of the various fan groups. He's like, oh, people say a lot about Jaguars fans, but at least we've never booed one of our starting quarterbacks, and that dude just got roasted. And I was like, bro, I've been in that stadium for at least 3 starting quarterbacks that I have personally booed for almost an entire game. So your statement is just stupid. But yeah, people getting mad at the fans for booing Zach Wilson are dumb. But what you can't get mad at is the Jaguars handling business. This was one of those games where it wasn't a pretty win. Really wasn't that exciting to watch if you're not. Yeah, exactly. Mystica says Zach lost the locker room. You could just tell, like, when he came out, however many weeks ago it was, and said, someone asked him, do you feel like you bear any responsibility for this loss? And he just looked him dead in the eye and said, no. When he had a terrible game, didn't score a single touchdown, and just, you're not a good leader. And you just have to be a good leader of people. If you're going to be a quarterback in the NFL.
Well, even if you don't believe it, you say yes. You say yes.
You have to be smart enough, even if you don't think that you have to know what an answer is that's going to bring a positive benefit to your team and your relationship with your fellow players, even if you don't necessarily take full blame for what happened. And he's not even smart enough to give one of those answers. The Jaguars won a game ugly, right? It was just an ugly game. Never really, they brought in this guy. What was this guy's name? Streveler. The Jets
Chris
brought
Streveler.
in Chris Streveler, who looked like on parole from prison. Tim Tebow coming in with these wacky plays. And I mean, there was a couple drives there where you're just like, all right, Jags, you got to hold on. Mostly because they had scored field goals on a couple drives where the Jags should have scored touchdowns, so they weren't up by as much as they could have been. If the Jaguars offense was more potent in those conditions and had scored a couple touchdowns, that game could have easily been 40-3. Like that is a game that the Jaguars just dominated outside of a couple drives defensively. The way it started was not very encouraging. Trevor Lawrence comes out and does what he had done earlier in the year and in a couple games even recently, where he tried to do a little too much and loses the ball. But the defense responded, held him to 3. Trevor proved that he can play in the rain, because that was one of those weird questions that came out of the Philly game was why can this dude not hold him to the ball when the ball is wet? Evan Ingram had a monster game, another game where he's playing like, somebody in the stands watching killed his grandparents or something, man, just angry. My favorite image from the whole game is
extremely specific.
when he I mean, he just plays angry, and it seems to work for him. So, like, I'm here for it. But he goes into the stands and he's flexing like at the crowd, and there's a bunch of Jets fans just giving him the middle finger. And so I told somebody, I forget who it was, I want to get a print of that picture and get him to autograph it. But they dominated the game. There was never really a point where it was in question. They went up there, handled business under the lights on prime time, and that was a concern as we get into this past game and the next two games. There's a lot of players on this roster that haven't really been in high pressure, highly visible contests where there's a lot at stake, right? So
and there was a couple injuries, right?
Yeah, the NFL cannot get rid of these turf fields fast enough, man.
Dude,
we lost Dwan Smoot to an Achilles injury on a play like where he's just pushing off, going to rush the passer, and he just goes down, and you can tell immediately. And then we lost Cam Robinson, and I think also that has something to do, with the turf. But it is what it is, right? Like you do have to have a little bit of a next man up mentality. The Jags handled business. I'm confident that the Jaguars, if they play the way they have played the last 3 weeks, can beat the Texans. Sorry, Matt, and can beat the Titans. But
Not
again,
sorry,
as the
right.
pressure mounts, we'll see what they're really made of. But if you had told any Jags fan, without any details, that coming up on week 18, the Jaguars win that game and they take the division and they're in the playoffs, at the beginning of this year, every Jag fan would have jumped for joy. They would have said, yes, I don't care how the season played out. Put my team in that position at the end of the year. So this year, has been a resounding success, far more than we anticipated and far more than it looked like it was going to be at one stretch of the year where they had that 5-game losing streak. So it's hard to be, I don't know, it's hard to be unhappy as a Jaguars fan.
Normally, the December Jaguars are letting everybody down, but this year the December Jaguars are in first place in the division and are looking to go to the playoffs. So, who would have thought? Go ahead.
Normally at this time of year, I'm very acutely aware of where the Jags are drafting and who might be available then. And this year, I have no clue. I don't have time. I don't have time to worry about that right now. I'll worry about it later.
It's for peasants, right, Chris?
For peasants, for poverty franchises.
This is a poverty division, sir. So listen, before we move on to the Titans Texans, since they played each other, the Jaguars play the Texans next week, and so would you and Matt like to do a friendly wager?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I'm here for it.
So, are you rooting for the Texans to win, Matt?
We can spare a game or two.
Listen, let's let the bottom feeder pick the charity. Just because we feel sorry for him. Chris Jackson, what charity should they donate to?
How about the bottom feeder? The Texans are
Love it.
Well, at the bottom of outside of this,
And you tied with the bottom feeder, so I mean,
you're watching Teen Wolf while doing this podcast.
I'm not watching Teen Wolf currently. That is something both me and my wife read. Wait, hold on. First off, you don't want me to bring up how your kids got here again, do you? Because we can go into that story live. Oh, okay, that's what I thought. Okay, I'm just gonna say it involves you being forceful with our good brother Hank. So
Listen,
we're not.
Don't put me in
that.
Deshaun Watson's category, okay?
Well, unless you did something to his butt, then I can. So, let's just not.
What charity do you think they should
charity?
donate to? Yes. Or should it be a profile pick? What do you think it should be? Do you guys want to do charity or profile pick?
I like profile.
I'll give money to a charity before I do a profile pick.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, we'll do profile pick. It is. Profile pick it is.
All right.
Your profile pick.
All right. So Matt will pick Josh's and Josh will pick Matt's, and you have to leave
But
it
listen, it can't be anything obscene.
grotesque. Yeah, we don't do that. We don't do that.
I got you. Yeah.
We don't do that, Josh.
I will put whatever, as long as it's family friendly.
Who do you think we are?
I know you.
Well,
Sam,
you, Sam, are
Yes.
You're built different.
I've lost
you get a
a
little-
Hey,
handful.
Toby Brown Bear says, why not both? All right, I'm down. What charity? Give me a
right.
charity and a profile pic.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Chris. Which charity?
Damn.
Or how
well, you know
about
what?
how about
There
we-
was kids. There were kids that didn't get Christmas presents. So can we find something with like a like homeless shelter or anything like with adoption agency, something that'll be like giving gifts to kids who were less fortunate.
Okay.
I'm down
We could do Eric Dunn's Head on Youth Impact.
That works for me, man. Yeah, whatever.
Does that work?
Yeah, we already done it once. Let's do it again.
All right, there you
25
go.
bucks. 25 bucks and a profile pic. That good with you, Matt?
There you go.
Virtual handshake. Do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
there you go.
If Tanner Doty was here, he would think we're doing the tomahawk chop of his favorite team, the Chiefs.
I'm here for it.
You're going to get a
so
very
funny.
angry DM, sir.
He doesn't. even
How
watch the
dare
podcast.
you? All caps. All right.
that's
well,
pretty
division game of the week. Listen,
Stone cold lock
I-
of the century of the week.
I was on my way. My birthday was on Christmas Eve. I was on my way to. We just got a comment from Twitch, by the way, that says, "As a Chiefs fan, tomahawk all you like, sir." So there you go. Keep it going for him. It's probably Tanner, actually.
Gross. It's Tanner. Yeah.
I was on my way to my birthday dinner with my family, and I was watching on my iPad Sunday Ticket, and I call my dad. I'm like, "We just clinched first place," or not we. The Jaguars just clinched first place. Okay, so who would have freaking thought that the freaking Titans were going to lose to the Texans? Matt is raising his hand, so you knew.
Yeah, I said it last
Definitely
week.
not Titans fan.
I said it last week. It was a rat.
Did you think that
I
was going to
did.
happen?
I just want to
Jerry?
say, Sam, you guys haven't clinched shit yet.
Sorry, wrong verbiage.
No.
The Jaguars are in first. We just got first. Is that better? Not clinch. Sorry. I mean, although we all know the outcome, but go on.
I mean, it's gonna happen.
Okay. We'll see.
So what the heck happened? Also,
Yeah,
I
I
just
think
want to give a shout out also to the Houston Texans, because after that game, they tweeted out and posted on their Facebook, "You're welcome, Jacksonville," and I thought that was great. But go ahead, Matt, give us a breakdown, and then we'll hear Cherry's rebuttal here.
Oh, I mean, I know I can give you a perfect example of Cherries. Oh man, we had a whole bunch of people out on injuries. Ryan Tannehill was out. We're gonna lose the game. But yeah, I told you last week. The Texans have been playing good teams, tough. The Cowboys, the Chiefs, and we're on a roll. What's his face? Pep Hamilton.
Lovey's trying to keep that job.
He is. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he doesn't do a good job. And keep it. But Pep Hamilton almost ruined it for us. But yeah, we nothing to say then. Get my Birdman on it. We whooped that ass, so I'm okay with it. I told you. I told you beginning of the season.
And Ray's over here shaking his head.
I told you at the beginning of the season. We're
Like
going to split.
Like a
split with the
disappointed dad. Literally, he's just like, nah.
Ray even called me crazy. I said at the beginning of the year, we're splitting with the Colts, splitting with the Titans, and sweeping with the Jags. Look, I'll take a splitting with all three teams, okay? I'll take it. But I told you it was happening. Cherry's like, oh no, we're not losing. Oh, and look what happened. He lost.
Rebuttal,
The fact
Cherry.
that every team in the division has lost to the Texans once just shows you how terrible our division.
Correct.
Seriously.
Basically, I mean, we don't have Ryan Tannehill. We got Malik Willis.
You see what I tell you?
I mean, we don't have a starting quarterback. I mean,
that isn't a bad argument.
We don't have a stout enough offense. We don't have
our best player on our team at all.
We don't have a good enough offensive coordinator.
Neither do we.
To make up plays
Let him do his rebuttal. He didn't interrupt you, Matt.
for Malik Willis, and he's raw. He's just not ready for prime.
It's actually funny because I saw somebody on Twitter earlier. The what's his name?
Todd
Darcy.
Gurley.
Todd Downing was with Malik Willis, and somebody retweeted, and it was like somebody from, like meeting with Malik or whatever, and somebody retweeted and said, "Get away from my quarterback."
Exactly. So, I mean, as Titans fans, we're not confident. We haven't been confident for damn near 5 weeks. So, the offense is just not where it needs to be. The bigger issue is the offense. If the offense is not clicking where it needs to be, that's even okay. Well, we cannot have Derrick Henry turn the ball over. He can't turn the ball over because that's all.
And he didn't practice. He didn't practice, and I think he was limited today.
They said they're sitting all their starters.
Yeah, we're sitting them all out for Cowboys. They're all going to get rested. They're getting them all ready for a Jags game. So expect this Cowboys game. I mean, we'll probably get blown out because we won't have anybody playing. We're not going to have Jeffrey Simmons playing on defense. Probably not Autry on defense. No Derrick Henry.
Do y'all have enough players to sit your starters? I mean, the way Titans fans talk about injuries, you would think y'all don't have enough people to sit your starters.
Cherry's going to be there. He's filling in.
Players, Hey, I might get a call. You never know.
But they are used to calling people off the FedEx truck. So
Oh man,
can we go back to this comment for a minute from Mr. Ricky Fuquay Jr., who was posting pro Cowboys posts in the NFC South fan battle group? Sir. Either pick a team.
I'm personally not going to be sad Thursday night because we already know we're sitting our players. I mean, we already know this game's meaningless. We're resting our players. I mean, this game is the only thing I'll be sad about is all the damn Cowboy fans talking mad shit on Facebook and stuff like they did
Cowboy
something.
Fans are the worst, dude.
Yeah, like they did something. I'm like, dude, we rested all our players. Not to say that you wouldn't have beat us if you started everybody, but you damn sure going to beat us if we don't have Derrick Henry playing.
How funny would it be if somehow the Titans managed to beat the Cowboys with all glorious?
Dude, I'd be okay with it.
I think
battle AFC South battle. Oh God, I will find every Dallas fan page.
We need to find a Cowboys fan to come on the show next week if the Titans beat the Cowboys.
You won't be able to. You won't.
We can find this guy right here.
Oh
yes.
no.
Ricky.
Ricky, if your team loses, you got to come on the show, man.
Oh, here we go. Yes, please beat Dallas. Do us a favor. There you go.
Yeah, I don't think anybody likes Dallas. I would love to beat Dallas, but I just don't see it happening with Malik at quarterback.
Skip Bayless likes Dallas. He's like the only person.
Yeah, I guess that's oh God, that's hard.
What's wild is I don't think the Jags can afford to sit their starters, because the Jags actually have a slim. There are 3 or 4 scenarios where they can make it in as a wild card if they beat Houston and lose to Tennessee. So we have to beat Houston to still have a slim chance of getting in.
And that might happen because we didn't talk about Miami and Tua. He had another concussion, so he might be done for the season.
They already made the playoffs, but it's all about the Jets lose. The Jets have to lose, and I think somebody else.
I thought the Dolphins have to lose too.
I think the Ravens and Dolphins are already shown in. I think they're set. The Chargers have to lose.
There's one where the Chargers have to lose, and then one where the Jets and another team, I forget who it is, have to lose. Listen, it's slim. Like the best path into the playoffs is obviously to beat Tennessee in week 18, but the Jaguars have this weird thing where the Titans can only get in if they beat the Jags, because they lost to Houston this week. It's just weird to be here sitting with a chance to win the division and get in, and then still, if we don't, have a slim chance of getting a wild card spot. Again, if you'd asked any Jags fan, if they would take that scenario at the beginning of the season, it's
been
a really weird year, anyways. For the
NFL. I will say this, and I tried to tell these damn Colt fans this a long time ago. That Frankie wasn't it. They all when he was with Philly, No, we can all say Doug Peterson is the real. He's the real.
Yeah.
He's the real reason. Okay.
Listen, I'm a moron. I wanted them to fire Balky and hire Byron Leftwich, and forget what guy Byron Leftwich wanted to be the GM. I was chirping for that hard. So I am chief among the stupids.
But let's not also skim over the fact that people have had issues with Frank Reich. But y'all were singing J-Rob's praises, talking about he was GM of the year every single year and a year out. And then as soon as he's gone, you'd be like, yeah, we wanted him gone years ago.
Oh,
like,
no.
I will.
That all stopped at the A.J. Brown. That all stopped after.
Don't
That
don't give me that.
all
Y'all even
stopped.
said
That all
that.
stopped.
You even said that. You even said it's just like, oh no. Have you watched his college tape? Because I know RJ was one of them talking about. Oh no, did you see Burks' college tape? No.
I will.
We'll be
I
fine.
will
We'll be
ask.
fine.
I will ask you that, Ray, because I'm curious from a Titans fan. It's something that I was talking to someone about. Do you feel like firing your GM in the middle of the season has contributed to the way you're playing? I mean, obviously he's made some bad moves for the team, but I mean the morale.
No.
No.
It's just been injuries, and then
I think also
I'll be even more than that. I'll even go more further than that. Derrick Henry has fumbled the ball so much.
I don't think
the problem is that he's fumbled it in the worst opportune times, given the other team and on their side of the field.
What if he's doing it on purpose?
Scoring drives. We'll go conspiracy theory, but no. So that's the main cause. That's the main cause.
Have you guys ever seen the Jackie Chan movie called The Drunken Master?
Yes.
No.
Like a kung fu guy, and he's only good at kung fu if he's drunk. That's what Todd Downing is. That's what Downing is. Since he stopped drinking, that offense has just gone down the toilet. He needs. Someone's gotta get that man some shots.
Go give him some Trulies, Cherry. Go give him
all right.
some Trulies.
So a call to action from Jags fans: shut down all the liquor stores.
That's right.
From the airport to the stadium.
Todd Downing, yes. If you see Todd Downing buying alcohol,
I'll get that man drunk. I won't get that man himself. I'll buy a whole drunk.
Get him some Trulies, Cherry.
I think the writing on the wall for J-Rob kind of happened when all the information about the Browns trade came out, huh?
Exactly.
Because it was kind of it could have happened that the construction of the contract could have happened, and he just didn't want to do it because he thought he was going to get a friendly contract, right?
Yeah.
It also could have been because he had like 1,000 yards when the Titans went against the Eagles.
Yeah. Well, that too. And then everybody's flipping off J-Rob in the stands.
Yeah. Plus AJ Brown demolishing the Titans in that game against Philly, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, things change, Chris. You know that. You guys were talking about Ballard, hyping Ballard up. Now y'all want him gone. So it's the same thing, you know. People have their
look at Trent Baalke,
Yeah,
look at Trent Baalke for the Jags, and people were literally wearing clown makeup and clown wigs and clown costumes to the last game of the season last year, calling Trent Baalke a clown, and now even me, I'm like, does Trent Baalke actually know what he's doing? Like, is he good? Is he good at being a GM?
He still doesn't. But Doug Peterson really is getting the best out of that roster right now. Because I mean, there's no way.
I will say this about the Jags. I noticed during the Titans game, they got a lot of swag with them. Like, it's been these previous seasons, you could tell they look defeated on the field.
The culture's different.
They go wrong. Yeah, the culture is there. They're over there, like Josh Allen saying, flexing. You know what I'm saying? That Trevor Lawrence is even. I mean, he was waving by in the Titans stadium and stuff like that. I mean, they've got some swag to them. I mean, they've got some swag.
It's kind of like, you know how people say you can, once you hit rock bottom, you can only go up. I mean, Urban Meyer was head coach of the Jaguars last year, so.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the way that it looks now, it looks like Doug Peterson was the quarterback guru that they try to sell us for Frank Reich to be. Like, that's just what it looks like. Because, I mean, I think he's really gotten the most out of Trevor Lawrence in such a short time after that crap year last year with Urban Meyer.
I just realized all you need to know about Doug Peterson. You guys saw Nick Foles play for the Colts. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles. He won a Super Bowl against Tom Brady with Nick Foles. So, I guess that the proof was always in the pudding, but we were just too dumb to see it.
Unless you're a Titans fan, then the proof is in the mail.
and basically, this is Trevor Lawrence's rookie year, so I mean,
it really is.
So.
Yeah. Well, anything else to add before we hop off? Anybody have anything else to add?
No.
Not till we
I
Happy
did-
New Year.
No?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, Chris Jackson, where do we find you on socials?
A little bit everywhere. If we're being honest.
A little bit
But
of everywhere?
nope, you can find me on Twitter at CJ Colts fan. Also, you can find the Colts fan paddle, aka You Don't Know Jack podcast, at YDKJAC podcast. We'll be live tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and any other time we're live on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern time.
And Ray Cherry.
Ooh, I like that. You got a little thing for it there.
You can find me on Twitter or Cherry76, and always on the battle page, talking that shit.
You are the best. You are the OG.
It's shit, all right.
And Josh Allen, where do we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Josh Gives Up, and Thursdays at 8:30 on the Jaguar.
You even made your name Josh Gives Up.
That was a long. Yeah, that was. No, it was. I forget why I picked that name. I'm sure it was something to do with the Jaguars in one of their terrible seasons. I just gave up.
Because that was around week 3 or week 4 or 5, I think.
Yeah.
No, Josh Gives Up has been my handle for at least 2 years. Yeah.
Which makes more sense too. Matt Briggs.
You can find me at A1 Day 1 Texans. And like the video says, you can find me on the Texans fan battle Wednesdays at 8:30 Central with BT and Crenshaw.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Sammy Football with an I, and sometimes on the Jaguar when Josh Allen invites me. We thank you guys for tuning in, and we will see you week 17.
Sam Low Jalen Ramsey.
I was waiting for it.
Don't forget.
And